Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hey, Ashley.
Hello. I'm sorry I'm going to be extra stuffy and sniffly. 'Tis allergy season, but we're going to make it through.
Oh, you sound fine to me, but yes, allergies suck.
Mm-hmm. Pollen.
Across the board.
Freaking pollen. But how are you, Delora? What's going on?
0 stars. Don't recommend. I'm doing great. By the grace of God, I am here. I'm reminded of that, our recent recap, Color Purple. I am here.
Powerful. You made me feel like those folks who, when you ask them, how you doing? Answer is always blessed and highly favored. No matter
Period.
what. No matter
Period.
what.
Because guess what? Old school got the soundness of my mind, the activities of my limbs.
You better say a word to start the show today.
Woo! Gratitude is very important. So how about you? You're doing great. You're doing good.
Yeah. Besides, again, we gonna make it through this episode. If y'all catch a couple sneezes, I apologize. But otherwise, we are rocking it out. No complaints. Well, I could complain, but I won't, because we don't talk politics. But y'all know what's going on right now,
girl.
Okay. And I'm exhausted. So, but we'll keep the lightheartedness of these episodes as long as we can.
We will be a reprieve.
Yeah.
We are still human and citizens of this country and the world. So
for now, I'm a citizen of this country. We'll see.
That part. Oh, really quick before we get into our headlines. Mia Coppola, our recap.
Yeah.
It's out. It was great. I'm just gonna say so myself. You know what I mean? I had the giggles apparently, but
it was a fun time. I mean, every project does not have to be a project to enjoy the ride and to enjoy like the conversation. Sometimes, guys, we don't choose movies we love because we're just gonna gush over it and it's not gonna be as juicy of a conversation.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah.
And we had the opportunity to rank our favorite Tyler Perry movies. So that's something to check out. So check that out, y'all. All right. So let's get into our first headline. Ashley, love is in the air. I am looking at people.com. Joshua Jackson and Lupita Nyong'o pack on PDA as they celebrate her birthday with a Mexico getaway. So we talked about this a little bit at the end of last year. They have been romantically linked since October 2023, shortly after Joshua separating from his wife, Jodie Turner Smith. Girl, these pictures are very much like we together.
Oh, yeah. No more calls for speculation, for sure. Not in that itty bitty bikini, baby.
Girl, first of all, she just celebrated her 41st birthday. Okay, that bikini is giving, I am here. Okay, like I am hot. I am living my best life. I am in love. We also recently talked about her recent heartbreak at the end of last year. I mean, sis went out and got a cat, Ashley.
She recommended books that she read after that helped her get through. I mean,
when she was with Sal, we used to love him from E! News back in the day. You remember the top 10?
Yeah. And even remember, I was like, I didn't know who his daddy was.
Yes.
Until the one documentary that we recapped.
Very true.
Summer Soul.
Do you feel like this is a little too soon, though, for Joshua?
It's Hollywood, baby. And if the one thing you know about these Hollywood folks is they don't play when it comes to their relationship timelines. They be
They
like,
sure
listen,
don't.
I was single for a month. That's plenty.
Some people have a lot to say considering the caliber of woman he was with before Lupita and the similarities they share. You notice that?
He's the definition of once you go black. Like this mofo said, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm not even gonna play with y'all.
The blacker the berry, the
Bro.
sweeter the juice. Okay.
He is dating he has now been with two of the most beautiful chocolate black women in
Flawless
Hollywood.
complexion. Okay.
Yeah. Who's left? You know, the only person who's left after this, our girl from from I May Destroy You. That's the only one.
Oh,
like
Michaela Cole.
Michaela Cole, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna be
That's the only
crazy
one
and
left.
say Grace Jones, but yeah.
Oh, if Grace still want to hit it, she might. I'm about to say Naomi.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You could put Naomi in that category as well, but I don't know.
Sure can.
I'm putting him more so with the ladies who were. I mean, Naomi's only her 50, so still in his. She could, still in the age range. He's a 45, so that could still happen. But yeah, I was like, listen. He said, I have a type, and I know what I like. But no, I mean, obviously, they're both glowing. They both look happy. They're both sun-kissed. This was a birthday trip for her. Love a vacation for a birthday.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Live your best life. And I saw people in the comments sliding in talking about, why don't y'all have the same energy when black men date white women and this, and that.
I'm tired of this conversation.
Yeah, I don't care who people date. I will say this till I'm red in the face. I don't care who people date. I care about who you tear down, though.
That is
the
entire point. That is it. You know how many times growing up, I grew up in predominantly black spaces, dudes only liking either ultra light skin or white girls because anybody browner than a paper bag got a bad attitude or have too much of an opinion or
just
whatever,
considered less
or just
physically
not
attractive.
Beautiful. Yes, not beautiful. It's like, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. That is all I'm going to say. And whether it is, within the same race or not, that's just the best rule of thumb in my personal opinion. So
agreed. So live y'all best lives. I don't know though. Both of these, them both getting out of relationships, this could seem like a rebound, and maybe it is. But sometimes a little rebound D is what you need. So live your best life.
Shout out to Joshua. I just finished an audiobook and he was the voice actor for it. It was called Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. The book was mid, but he did a fabulous job in the role. So
I have been loving
acting.
I've been loving Joshua Jackson since The Mighty Ducks. There's a reason why I was Team Pacey with Dawson's Creek.
That part.
I always had a feeling about this guy.
I followed his entire career.
Yeah, I always had a feeling about this guy.
Always. And the fact, like I said, when I got the audiobook and I started listening to it, because I like to go in cold. I look at Rex and then I'll get them and I go in code. And then I heard his voice. I was like, oh, is that Joshua? Oh my God, yes. He did a great job. And it's so on the nose because, he's our favorite Canadian. I can't say he's because Ryan Gosling's there. I was going to
say, yeah,
I know.
They could be in a project together and then it would be
Ryan Reynolds. Oh, the Canadian. Their team is deep. Their bench is deep.
They do.
Ryan Reynolds.
The Canadians have a solid roster.
They really do. Yeah.
Somebody needs to stack up the Canadians versus the Brits. Who goes harder?
We should do that, Ashley. I'm writing that down right now. For a later day, of course.
Yeah. I don't know. The Canadians don't have the singers, though, besides like Biebs.
That's true. You got Drake.
Guys, I'm doing cut it. Because Drake's not even in my mind anymore as anything.
Celine Dion.
Oh, I forgot about Celine Dion. Okay. Well, yeah, we could. Yeah, you could do a ranking.
Powerhouse.
You could do a ranking now because I'm like, nobody stacks up to like Adele, but then, yeah, you got Celine Dion and she's a legend. So, yeah. Well,
Hmm,
that's stiff competition.
very much so. Speaking of the Brits, where in the world is Kate Middleton? Okay,
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? If you
pretty
know, you
much.
know.
Exactly. I'm looking at Yahoo Entertainment. Kate Middleton's first sighting after surgery only fuels the conspiracy theories even more. Here's some backstory. What the heck is going on with the royals? I mean, we joked about it in the past, but Queen Elizabeth was definitely cut from a different cloth because she worked, she showed up, rain, sleet, snow, keep calm, carried on. Okay. This new royal family that was supposed to be slimmed down, this was part of the reason why Harry left too. It was supposed to be all, the king and all his heirs, right? Prince William and his family and King Charles and now Camilla. I said what I said.
I know.
Um
I caught it. I was like, you're not gonna put that respect on her name. I already know.
King Charles recently, we talked about it, was diagnosed with a form of cancer. We don't, pancreatic cancer, I believe, but we don't know the stage. He went through some surgery, and Kate Middleton just recently had abdominal surgery. She has not been seen since December. And the internet is going in the frenzy. Hashtag where is Kate has been trending for quite some time. And it reached a fever pitch, Ashley, up until this week when we saw her in the car with her mama with that grainy ass paparazzi shot. What's been fascinating looking up this whole conversation around Kate, she loves a good car moment for the paps during, you know, significant moments. So, like, shortly after Queen Elizabeth died, she looked somber in her car. Right after Prince Harry's Spare, one of the greatest selling books of all time. Once that was out, she was in the car and the Paps got her. And so now her mom is driving and she's in the passenger seat. And I guess this is supposed to quell the interest, but Ashley, do you think that was really Kate or a body double?
Yo, I have no idea. I have not been following this whatsoever, but I mean, I don't think she's dead. So
No.
it probably is her. It probably, whether she had plastic surgery, whether I mean, she did have popped out some children. So whether it's a medical issue, I know they already said that it's not cancerous, which is
Yes.
great for her. But I mean, I can't imagine having this much hoopla over possible health or medical situation and me just needing time to recover and rest. So I'm sure she's fine.
But
And
she's resting. She's going to be resting until freaking June.
yeah, but I mean, I think given the level of scrutiny when you do step out and when you are photographed, and like I would probably want to be in tip top shape my damn self. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure
They
she's
didn't
fine.
grant any of this leniency, especially with the media trying to cover her tracks of being absent for Meghan Markle. It
Well, I
was
mean,
like,
we've already talked about the differences that are glaring between the media coverage between those two women, particularly racially charged differences in the coverage. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't pay that much
it's,
attention to the royal family, to be honest. So,
I know, but I think the part that really blew my mind, just speaking about the household as a whole, Camilla does a couple of more engagements and now she's taking a break. Like, what's up with these work shy royals? I don't have to pay taxes to support them, but I just find it to be very rich. That's all.
Hmm. Well, time will tell if everybody comes back as they're supposed to, or if, regimes are going to be changing sooner than people thought.
Girl. All right, let's look at our next headline. The Root. We need to discuss that Russell Simmons and Usher photo. Girl, we have been Usher's number one supporters leading up to the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, this man is coming off of a Vegas residency, prepping for the biggest show of his entire career. And yes, it makes sense that he would want to go somewhere like a Bali to recharge. But
He's on his
with
honeymoon
Russell,
too, isn't he? He's doing a tour for his honeymoon, essentially, him and his new wife.
that's right, man. He got married that weekend and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But he's hanging out with Russell, who is currently in exile because of, girl, we've talked about this in the past as well. He has been accused of sexual misconduct for years. There's
Yep.
an entire documentary about it. And Usher's been catching strays anyway because of Diddy.
Yep.
Is this a bad look, Ashley?
Absolutely, it's a bad look. Absolutely. I had been following some of his coverage of, his travels, and I had liked the picture in the pool where it said like welcome to Bali or whatever it was, because I have aspirations of going to Bali and I'm a yogi. And
Same.
so I was excited for him. And then as soon as I saw a picture with Russell Simmons, I was like, oh shit. Usher, this is what we doing. I felt the
Right.
disappointment that was someone that he still had such a connection with, not just personally, but publicly, right? It'd be different if he had gone and it was not
Yes.
publicized. Like, you're
Right.
so comfortable with this association. You have no problem with him posting about it and calling you
Right.
little bro and all this stuff. Like, that's too much for me personally. I know that people have their personal relationships with these folks that we do not have and we only talk about and speculate about, but it's not ideal. I hold Usher in pretty high esteem as a musician, but I don't know that man personally, just like I don't know any of these folks personally. And he's not without fault either, but I hope that he takes time out to consider the ramifications of association with continued people like Russell Simmons and Diddy. So I was disappointed.
Same. I ain't got nothing to add. I'm just like, dude, be safe out here. Okay.
Yeah, I think the music industry is just so much messier than a lot of people
Hollywood.
realize.
I
Just more than
agree.
people realize. And so it's kind
Dirty
of like
work.
there's so
Yeah.
many people probably that do so much shit. Uh, I don't know where they begin and end, honestly. So,
All right. I am looking at the Hollywood Reporter in some happy news. Reesa Tessa Johnson signs with CAA, the TikTok star known for her quote, "Who the F did I marry?" online series has made her an overnight success. She's been making her rounds, interviewing with Good Morning America, the Tamron Hall Show, and she's just been very vocal about sharing her story and, pushing past the embarrassment, but realizing that it's been very cathartic for her, and hopefully it could help someone who was similar to her not be vulnerable to a pathological liar.
and he's still going.
The fact that he doxed himself, I'm like, sir, you can't shame the shameless.
Waiting on this Netflix deal to pan out that he's claiming he has. So,
Liar.
yeah. And something about going to another country and highlighting men who have gone through similar situations and stuff. I was like, what are you
He did that
talking
to
about?
her. What did she do to him?
What are you talking about?
Ashley, some people online feel some kind of way about this, wondering if her story is legit. Do you believe in her story? Or do you think this is a path for her to own her story and, get it out for us to consume via streaming service
I
a la
want to
Netflix?
I want to believe it's the latter, right? I want to believe that Reesa Tessa is who she says she is, that she went through this and that it's not some fabricated, because who could have imagined the virality of that story? You know?
50-part
Yeah. And
series.
it's not like she had, based on what I saw, because I didn't watch it, based on what I saw of the clips, it's not like she had a production set up. It's not like she had something that
No.
made you think this is somehow not authentic. It was literally just her talking to her phone in her car and wherever, right? So there's nothing about it that makes me think it's fake. Now, obviously, there's a lot of shit that goes on these days that is merely for monetary value. But I took this at face value of thinking, hey, she's authentic and she told her story. She had no idea what was going to come of it. I will tell you, though, and I said this multiple times and I've talked about this just goes to show that content is still king, because I would have never imagined that people would sit and watch 52-part per woman on TikTok, right? Like, this is not a Netflix series.
Girl.
This is not a sports game.
Raptured in it. Okay.
People sat and watched her for 8 hours. Okay.
Put it on the big screen.
Content is still king. But I will also say that when I heard about it, my hope was that she was going to be able to monetize it. Because when you have something that captures people in this way, someone was going to make money from it, right?
Yes, and it might as well be her.
Exactly. Because it takes me back to the lady who, based on her Twitter posts, you had the movie that came out a few years back. Yep. That did well. And so I can't remember the name of it right now, but I know I've seen it. You guys hopefully know what I'm talking about. But yeah, someone was going to make a film off of this, a documentary off of this, something. So go ahead and get your coins. Go ahead and make this proprietary. Go ahead and get your coins. Good for you.
Get your coins, and shout out to her being a phenomenal storyteller. Like, storytelling is a lost art. And honestly, I'm frankly reminded of our conversation about Wendy Williams and what made her stand out. She was a one-woman show and she was entertaining by herself. Her and the audience, her and her purple chair and the audience. I love The View very much, but those co-hosts couldn't do that. Whoopi, probably, because she's legendary. Joy, maybe.
I don't know. I can't speak to it because they don't do it. Right. And they have such shorter,
but there's something moments to it to be able to capture.
For sure. There's nothing you could take away from Wendy and the fact that she was able to do that for years on end, right? Like, for sure. So
congrats, Reesa Tessa. All right, let's get into our hot topic. Rihanna performed a full live show, the first time in 8 years, in India for a billionaire son's wedding. This was pre-wedding party, okay? It wasn't even the wedding, okay? And the internet is in shambles. Fans are split. They're saying that her performance was lazy. Others are saying that it was low energy. Let's remind the folks, Rihanna is one of the biggest stars of the 2010s, and she performed and released music nonstop up until 2018. Ashley, have you seen clips of her performance? Mm-hmm. What did you think? She performed 19 songs barefoot.
So I love Rihanna. Let me start there. I've always loved Rihanna. But Rihanna has never been the most exciting live performer and entertainer to me. And so now, after not having done a show of this caliber in like 8 years, she has popped out 2 children. She is getting her bearings back with being on stage. You know, I have a lot of grace for what it takes to get up there and have the endurance to do a 90-minute show no matter what. After travel, you're in a new You're in India. Like there's a
Girl.
lot. So I don't have
Yep.
any, I'm not going to criticize her whatsoever in terms of calling her performance lazy or anything like that. I would just say that she's never been the most exciting live entertainer to me. So this did not surprise me that this was what it was. And I guess people should just be happy that at least she is touching music when she does, because I know a lot of people are still wanting that next album that has been delayed for so long. So, hey, it's not like she needs the money. So at least she's still gracing the stage on occasion for the super fans.
Yeah, everyone's talking about she got paid around $6 to $8 million for this performance. A lot of people are also saying, like, well, she's a billionaire. Why does she care about a $6 million paycheck? And to that, they're saying that she could be gaining access to, I've heard a couple of things. Sephora in India for her Fenty line. And there was another festival that this billionaire merchant has access to that would put her in a good position financially. So overall, her performance was a bit uninspiring. I will say that. But I also feel like Rihanna is more of a personality than a performer. She's honestly from that era, one of the last like super mega stars. Like, and what I mean by that is she's one of those superstars that you want to hang out with.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Magnetism,
Exactly.
a
Not
magnetism.
everybody has that.
Yeah, she has star power. One thing I don't think I've heard anybody mention is, could this be people that she knew when she dated her man previous to ASAP Rocky? Wasn't he
Ooh,
a
he was
wealthy
fine. Yes, he
Asian
was.
man?
I think he was Indian. Yeah.
So
South
she
Asian.
may already
Yeah.
have known these people.
Potentially.
And
And
this
wanted
may
her to
be,
perform.
yeah, some folks that she's known. So I don't think I heard anybody mention that, but I was like, couldn't these be circles that she had already been in? So
She was with that man for a minute
she
too.
was. I thought that he was gonna marry her.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. All right. I'm done with that conversation. Let's get into our Oscar predictions. The biggest night in Hollywood is happening on Sunday, Ashley. And Vanity Fair has this really cool Oscar ballot that I'm looking at. And we're just going to go ahead and go down some of these categories.
I'm about to pull up my ballot as we speak.
So I like to give a disclaimer on my choices. I usually go for the winners, not the films that I feel like deserve, because at the end of the day, we know this is a popularity contest. And sometimes the films that touch our heart may not have touched white man over 60 who's obsessed
That's
with World War II.
that's a good differentiator too, because I did the major categories in for my ballot, but also I have up
Yes.
the Hollywood Reporter, and they did the same where they say who will win and who should win. So that
Yes.
is a good differentiator to say these are who you think will win versus who should.
All right, let's start with Big Daddy. Best Picture.
Oppenheimer.
Same. Now, I was ecstatic to see American Fiction be acknowledged in this space. So, shout out to that. And I have Past Lives on my list. So, I'm looking forward to watching that. Best Director.
Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer.
Same. Now, this one should be fun, Ashley. Best Actress.
Okay. So I know we've talked about it could go to Lily, it could go to Emma. I said last
Yes.
week, I'm going to give it to Emma. I know that it is a toss up, but I, as of now, am going to give it to Emma Stone.
And I am giving it to Lily Gladstone. Best Actor.
Best actor is Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, for me.
Yes. However, I think I'm gonna give it to Paul Giamatti for the heck
That's
of it.
fair. He won a couple awards. He won a couple.
Yes. Best supporting actress.
Best supporting actress is a no-brainer. It's Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
Exactly.
She has that
Exactly.
in the bag.
I will say, when it comes to Danielle Brooks, I think it was deserved for her to get that acknowledgement. And it was surprising for me that America got nominated for
Barbie.
this Barbie. Yeah. I'm sure her monologue helped a lot. Best supporting actor.
Best supporting actor, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer.
Same. Notable mentions. Sterling K. Brown, my cousin, for American Fiction. Again, I am just so happy he's being acknowledged in this space because he deserves. I appreciate the diversity of his projects since This Is Us. I mean, honestly, he's done a lot before This Is Us, but This Is Us put him on the map.
Yep.
And then, of course, one of our favorite Ryans, Ryan Gosling, and Robert De Niro. But Mark Ruffalo, I'm like, okay, sir, this was out of the box for him as well for Poor Things. Best original screenplay.
All right. So I did not currently vote on Best Original Screenplay, but let me see who I think is going to get it. I'll give it to The Holdovers. I still haven't seen it, but just based on the hoopla around it, I'll give it to The Holdovers. I've seen Maestro in May, December of this list, but yeah, I'll say The Holdovers.
Same. Best adapted screenplay.
Best adapted screenplay is probably going to go to Oppenheimer.
Exactly. All right. I want to do a couple more, if you don't mind. I want to do Best Animated Feature.
I give it to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Same. All right. Best Original Song.
Best Original Song. I am going to give it to What Was I Made For?
Billie Eilish.
Barbie.
Is she really going to have 2 freaking Oscars?
She might.
Before the age of 30. Crazy.
I mean, I mess with Billie Eilish heavy. I was just listening to My Future yesterday. So
I appreciate her too. Best cinematography. I always love cinematography. It really does make or break a film for me.
It does. Best cinematography. Again, it's tough because I haven't seen so many of these. Let's see who the Hollywood Reporter gave it to. That will help me.
You know who it is.
I know who it is, but I just want to see if they voted. Okay, they did. We'll just say Oppenheimer because Oppenheimer is going to sweep so many of these awards.
I have the feeling as well. All right, we'll do 2 more. Best makeup and hairstyling.
Best makeup and hair for me, again, not having seen anything but Maestro, we will give it to Maestro.
I'll give it to Poor Things. And then the final, best costume design.
Barbie.
Same.
If Barbie don't get that, and they don't get, if they don't get that and they don't get production design, I'm gonna be upset.
Exactly. Do you want to do production design?
Well, it's Barbie for me.
Yeah. Same.
Those are the 2 categories. I'm like, if Barbie don't take these, because the whole world of Barbie Land, like I said,
yes.
Come on, bro. Come on.
It was created. It wasn't some green screen. And that was the thing that, you know, Greta was talking about, the feel of the movie. You really felt it, especially when she was traveling in between the real world and Barbie world. Amazing.
Absolutely stunning.
All right, Ashley, that's all we have for today. What are we recapping for next week?
All right, so our recap for next week might be slightly controversial. And I say this only because
how so?
It did not run in favor of the fanatics of this genre, right? But there are reasons why that we will in my opinion, reasons why that we will discuss. But it's Women's History Month, and I enjoyed this film, and I feel like this film did not get the love it deserved, and that is The Marvels
Yes, ma'am.
on Disney Plus.
Directed by a Black woman. Shout out to Nia.
Directed by Nia DaCosta, the biggest debut ever for a Black woman director. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about how this is comparable to some of the other fare in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And, you know, it should be a good time as always. So come back to us for that. And, you know, as usual, so much more, because I'm sure we'll go off on tangents and talk about many things.
That's why you love us.
That's why you love us. All right, guys. Thank you as always for sticking with us. Hopefully I made it through that with maybe a sniffle or two, Delora. So
I didn't notice.
We hold strong.
You're great.
But guys, please share this episode with your friends, family, loved ones, everyone. We appreciate you so much. Leave us a rating or a review. Come back to us next time. But in the meantime, be blessed.
Bye.